This is a Games with Two review of Summoner Wars Master Set by Colby Dosh and published by Plaid Hat Games. It's a two-player game. Takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play, give or take, how long you take on your turns. And what it is the game board is split into two halves, and each player is given a different faction that look like this, and you have a summoner which looks like this guy here, and you're trying to defeat your enemy's summoner before he defeats yours. So all the cards kind of look like this. The big three here is how many attack dice you get to roll and the overall strength. The little lightning bolt here shows that he's the summoner. The sword shows he's a quick or short range attack. There's also a bow, and then these little dots that are filled in show how many hits they can take. And then down here you can see there is a special ability for each of these players. Now if you look at a normal card here, this number 6 is how many cards you need to be able to bring him onto the board. So I have it set up now where this is how you start the game with these characters on your board. And if you look at this card here, it kind of shows you your beginning setup, and then on the back it shows you your turn order, and on this side it shows you what your special event cards are. So each player starts with these cards on however their faction sets up, and then you have a deck of cards with more guys and special abilities in it. So on your turn you're going to draw 5 cards into your hand, and then you can, after you do that, you can summon, which down here you have a magic deck or pile, and those are cards that you have discarded on previous turns. And when you summon, you have to use your magic cards, which can be any cards. They can be any cards from your deck. So this guy takes 2 magic to summon, so you'd have to discard 2 of your magic cards to your discard pile to be able to bring him onto the board. And then you bring him on the board where these walls are, and you can put him anywhere on the board there. So I'm going to put him there for now. Then you can play any event cards that you have in your deck. So you have in your hand, you have special event cards. Some of them can be the walls that I showed you, and then other ones just give you special abilities, change your ability. Like this one says it gives you greater command, so when you attack you can move 4 spaces, or you get an extra die roll if you're within 4 spaces of the summoner instead of 2, which is his normal ability. So you can play any of those that you would like, and then you can move. So I can move any of the guys on the board. I can move 3 of them, 1 or 2 spaces each, and I can move them sideways or up and down. I cannot move diagonally. So I can move 3 of those guys like so, and then I can attack. So for example, I can use my rusher here and roll 1 attack die against this common shadow elf swordsman. Now he takes 1 hit point, and to attack I'm just going to roll some regular 6-sided dice. If I roll a 3 or higher, it's a hit, and if it's a 2 or lower, it's a miss. So if I roll and that's a hit, you're going to put one of these wound markers on them. But since this guy only has 1 hit point, I get to put him in my magic pile and use him to summon more guys later. I can also attack that guy there, and that's a hit, so then he also comes into my magic pile. I can't attack anybody else, so then I can build my magic. So using cards that are in my hand, so if I had these 4 cards in my hand, for example, I could take these 2 common cards and I would discard those and put them in my magic pile down there. Now they're ready for my next turn to be able to be used to summon, you know, one of these nice heroes, this champion, who has 6 hit points, rolls 3 dice, and he can add 2 wound markers to the chosen wall card at the end of his turn if he's adjacent. So that's pretty nice because you can defeat your enemy's wall cards. So you keep battling and maneuvering in this fashion until somebody's summoner is defeated, and then that ends the game. And that's how you play Summoner Wars. So this is it's a very Ameritrash game with the dice rolling and the heavy fantasy theme. I like the game okay. My wife, she really didn't care for it. I understand why a lot of people love this game. There's a lot of strategy here. There's a lot to look at with 6 different factions coming with this game. There are benders, there are swamp orcs, there's deep dwarves, there's sand goblins, and then you can also get reinforcements and mercenaries, along with a bunch of other factions as well. So there's a ton to explore in this game, as you can build up your decks and really customize this game however you want. Personally, it just didn't hit it for me, but other than that, it's a good game, and the components are good. The board's a little glossy. I wish it wasn't, and the cards could be maybe a little bit better quality, but other than that, the components are really nice, and there's tons of storage in the box for all your extra factions. If you take a look at the inside of the box here, there's tons of spots for factions, and you can stack 2 or 3 in one of these holes. So I think you could probably put about 30 different factions in this box, which is really nice that they thought ahead and did that for you, so you don't have to carry around 5 or 6 boxes like you have to do with Dominion. Anyway, that's our review of Summoner Wars. That's just the basic how to play the game. I didn't go into a whole lot of strategy or in depth of what the different special abilities of characters do. Just wanted to give you a basic overview of how the game is played. I hope you enjoyed it. For more reviews, check us out at www.gameswith2.com. Until next time, we'll see you later.